Yeah. Let me know when I'm live. Uh, okay. All right. So, hey everyone. I'm so sorry I'm not over there. I'm really FOMOing and missing out on this event. But yeah, COVID restrictions. So I'll start from here. Uh, awesome. So we are Ethereum push notification service. Let me just start with some good vibes and a video we created for you guys. All right. Hopefully you like that video. Uh, so yeah, as mentioned in the video, we are the Ethereum push notification service, EPNS for short. What we are doing is building a communication layer that will finally allow dApps and smart contracts to send notifications like we all receive on Web 2.0. But yeah, we are not going to talk about that for now. We are going to talk about game theory and DeFi, especially because we have used these two elements and they're very easy and simple concepts to grasp. So yeah, let's begin. Uh, so yeah, game theory and DeFi, these are two things which you'll hear whenever you are going through any DeFi project. But what do they represent? So let's start with game theory. First of all, a lot of people, they give you really complex or mathematical summary of what a game theory is. Well, that's right. In general, game theory can be surmised by any project, any ecosystem interaction, or a strategic interaction designed by any real life scenario or any virtual life scenario, wherein you at least have one win-win situation for all the players or all the users involved in the ecosystem. That's the best way to explain game theory. How to design it? Again, three simple pointers. You need to make sure whatever game theory you are making for your protocol or your project, or even for general life situations, ensure rule number one that you are incentivizing good behavior. That means whenever users are participating in your game theory, you are motivating them to do what you want them to do. You are penalizing bad actors. That kind of helps in pivoting users who don't understand your game theory or don't understand your project. And it also helps weed out bad elements. And yeah, lastly, the third rule, ensure at least one win-win scenario for everyone involved in the game theory. This presentation will have a lot of examples. So let me begin with game theory examples. So in the real life scenario, I mean, we can take the example of an organization and when they hire employees. So again, it's based on game theory. So rule number one, incentivize good behavior. So whenever the organization is hiring employees, of course, what they want to incentivize or what want employees to work towards is the company's vision. And to ensure that the employee aligns to that organization's vision and hierarchy, they incentivize that by making sure that the employees are paid, right? And not only that, they incentivize good behavior by promotions, either by increasing your salary or increasing your roles and responsibilities and promoting you out. So even here, we can see that money, while it plays a very good motivating factor for incentivization, it's not the only factor. Again, rule number two, that's also applicable over here in the organization employee structure, penalizing of bad actors. So if an employee doesn't adhere to a company policy or is not performing according to a company vision, then the employee can be demoted, their salaries can be slashed. So yeah, again, rule number 2 is checked. And the last is the one win-win scenario, or at least one win-win scenario. Over here, the win scenario for organization is that if all the employees work hard and work towards achieving the company's goal, then of course the company wins. And for employees, the win scenario is that if they're working well, then of course they are getting paid well, they are getting promoted. So yeah, if the game theory is designed really well between a company and their employees, then you'll see a really nice company culture coming out of it. And that's one example. That's one real life example of game theory. Moving to digital world, we can look into Twitter because, of course, if we are into crypto, one day of work in crypto means one day in Twitter. So, or tweeting all day. So yeah, on Twitter, what's a win-win scenario? Twitter wants users on their platform. They want good content from the users. The win scenario for the user is, of course, when they tweet about something, they want their voice heard. So how does that incentivization work? Twitter incentivizes good behavior by making sure that if you, as a user, you tweet something of good content, then their algorithm will start showing it out to more and more users, and you'll get more and more followers. So there you have a incentivization rule, which is tick marked. Penalizing of bad actors, again, if you are abusing Twitter policies, if you're writing bad content, Twitter might throttle the tweets which you are sending out to your followers, and in the very extreme case can ban you out. So again, you have the penalization of bad actor that is also there. And the win-win scenario, as I said, Twitter wants good content from their users, and users want their voice heard. And Twitter has designed this game theory in a way that all of this works in perfect synergy. And that's why, Twitter is the platform which we use to tweet and work in crypto. All right, so that's about enough about digital examples and real life examples. Let's look at some of the scenarios that has already happened and where game theory really, really worked. So again, physical scenario, let's look at a historical event called No Man's Slang. This happened on the Christmas Eve of World War One. Britain and Germany, they were fighting each other. But yeah, along came Christmas, and both of the sides, they laid down their weapons, they exchanged gifts, and had a very miraculous Christmas. If you look deep into this, there's a game theory which was involved. Again, incentivization of good behavior. So all the parties involved in this game theory, or Britain and Germany, all the soldiers involved, their incentive was that if they lay down their weapons and they call truce for the day, then they don't have to fight. Then they don't have to spend codeless night in the bunker, which is a penalization as well, which covers it up. And of course, the win-win scenario was that they all can spend a merry night and just be fearless, or just stop worrying about the war for that just one day. Of course, this has happened already, so the game theory over here worked. The next thing, let's move to blockchain. I know we are Ethereum push notification service, and this is HCC. The only reason I bring in Bitcoin into focus is because they were the ones that did this first. Ethereum does it better, ultrasound money. So yeah, how does Bitcoin creates the game theory? So again, for Bitcoin, if you look at it at a very high level, it's a software that requires a lot of users to run this software, and those users ensure that the ledger is distributed and Bitcoin is secured, or ETH is secured. So yeah, win scenario for Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other blockchain is that more and more users run their software. But yeah, for the users, there needs to be one incentive, right? Because the user, when they're running the software, they're lending out bandwidth, they're lending out space. So how did Bitcoin solve this issue? Well, they solved it by making sure that if you're running their software, then every once a while you will be rewarded in Bitcoin. So of course, now you have one win scenario where both the players are happy. You are incentivizing the users to be truthful, because in case you're not, you are thrown out of the network, and thus whatever coins you have, they are not Bitcoin, they are not Ethereum, and hence worthless. And because of that, the game theory works. Another penalization factor, which is really, really cool, is the difficulty, the mining difficulty adjustment, which actually is a very nice innovation, because if you think about it, the way the network operates is that if the if more and more users are there on the platform, then the mining difficulty rises. Therefore, hackers would have to spend more to hack Bitcoin. But if the users are less in the network, which was of course the case when we started, then the mining difficulty cannot be that high, because you will not be able to run the transaction ledger, and in that case the mining difficulty is adjusted. But at the same time, hackers, they don't have any incentives to hack that network, because the network value is practically worthless at that point of time. So yeah, this is again a really good example of the game theory that worked. We can see that because Ethereum is one of the, Ethereum is the top smart contract currency in the coin market cap and in the blockchain ecosystem, and so is Bitcoin. So yeah, that's about game theory. Let's look into decentralized finance, or DeFi. Again, very simple. Anything which we do in finance, whether it's borrowing, whether it's lending, whether it's fiat money, anything related to finance, which when happens on a blockchain, it's called decentralized finance, because blockchain is decentralized. So whenever you're thinking DeFi, just think finance built on blockchain. So yeah, about DeFi and why DeFi. So a lot of people, especially from where I'm from, they assume, or they say that DeFi will kill fiat, or crypto will kill fiat. And I kind of disagree with that notion. I think DeFi is the next innovation of money, rather than a killer of fiat money. Because if you think about it, fiat money is also not the original fiat money which was designed. Paper money, when it was first designed, it was backed by gold. We have, I think, iteration number 3 on paper money right now. And of course, that's not backed by gold. Even if you move further, before paper money, gold coins existed. So after gold coins, paper money came into existence because they were easier to carry. They had more utility than gold coins, and they could do more things than gold coins, maybe because of weight. But yeah, with paper money, what you had was that you have a service, and the service provider, thus you have to pay the exact amount of paper money to the service provider, and the service provider will provide that service to you. But between paper money and DeFi, there was one more innovation of money that happened, or one more iteration of money that happened, and that was plastic money, or credit cards. So all of a sudden, after the inventions of credit cards, you were not even required to take that much, that exact amount of paper money to the service provider. You could just swipe your credit card, and the service provider will fulfill the service. And of course, you can then settle that thing with your bank. Even moving forward into this innovation, it opened up a lot of avenues. For example, online payments were possible. Netflix was possible. Imagine if credit cards didn't exist. We would all be queuing around Netflix office all around the cities all around the world to renew our subscriptions. And in COVID times, we'll practically be without Netflix. So yeah, that's another invention over paper money that happened. When I say invention, the thing is that the credit card could do things which normal paper money couldn't, just like the online example I gave you. DeFi is obviously the next innovation over this iteration of money that has been happening around. Uh, and we can see that already because if you think about DeFi, most of you guys might be thinking about flash loans or zero collateral loans, which is something that is not really possible in traditional banking. Just to give you a hint about flash loans, they're basically zero collateral loans where a user can borrow thousands of dollars or infinite amount of dollars, or maybe just say thousands or millions of dollars from a lender. Does do whatever thing they want to do with that money, maybe arbitrage it, maybe trade something out, and return that back to the lender. And all of this is a single atomic transaction. So the way the way blockchain work is that either the transaction is included into the blockchain and then that is considered valid, or the blockchain or the transaction fails and therefore is not included in the blockchain, thereby it's invalid. Flash loan operates on the same principle. You have a function. As long as that function is able to lend money in, do whatever you want to do, and send the money out to the lender along with a fee, then the transaction would be successful and therefore included in the blockchain. Otherwise, it will fail and therefore will be excluded out of the blockchain. So voila, you have zero collateral loans, something which is not possible with the physical or the credit card. So yeah, that's DeFi for you. It also enables a lot of cool applications. For example, global banks like Aave and Compound, wherein you have interest rate that is offering a much higher interest rate than normal traditional banks, especially in the US. You also have finances which are now innovating the practices of bank or how money should operate. And the network or the users decide whether this way is better financially or that way is better. And all of this happens through DeFi. But yeah, DeFi opens up one more thing, especially when we are talking about these global banks and innovation. It provides you a set of APIs or a set of Legos by which you can build whatever you want. And that's DeFi for you. And of course, I'm sure you might realize now that game theory requires incentives, and you have DeFi, which is capable of providing incentives. And combining them both, we can basically innovate a ton of new things for Web 3.0. Which of course brings us to our product and what we do. So yeah, a little bit about us and how we include DeFi and the game theory. So we are Ethereum push notification service. We are a communication middleware, which is enabling communication or notifications from dApps, smart contracts, or even traditional services to Ethereum, then L2s, and then finally to other blockchains as well in an open platform agnostic fashion. We're the first one to do that. The only competitor we have is Apple and Google. Hopefully, many of you would have gotten notifications, which led you over here. We are doing the same thing for Web 3.0. Why we are doing it? Because, a lot of dApps and a lot of smart contracts are innovating. Nobody paid attention to the communication layer, which meant it was the right time for us to come in and fill the void, which is what we did. The solution, of course, the solution is building an open platform agnostic notification middleware or notification communication layer that can that can tie your wallet address to notifications. Uh, Happy to say that we already did it. We are live on Dropscene. And of course we are open. That means this is an open communication layer. So even crypto wallets like Trust and MetaMask can integrate us, and whenever you log in through your wallet address in the very near future, you might be able to see notifications powered by EPNS protocol. Coming back to the game theory and DeFi, because we were the first to create this, we realized that we can invent something new out of it, and of course that led to the idea of incentivized notifications. In essence, this means that when you as a user opt in to receive notification, not only you are receiving notifications from crucial services, but you are also earning a passive income out of it. The way it works is that services who wants to send notifications to you guys, they basically activate themselves on our protocol by depositing some DAI. We use that DAI, or the protocol takes that DAI and lends it to Aave protocol. Aave is like a global bank, so once we lend that DAI out, we start generating interest. That interest is coming back to the protocol. And now when you as a user come in and subscribe to that specific service, we basically, or the protocol basically calculates in a weighted manner the interest or the part of the interest that should go to you, and thereby incentivize notification. Uh, of course, happy to share that we want to become the Web3 communication layer, and while this is an old slide, we are happy to share that Aave pulled together and ENS. We are already collaborating with them, and hopefully with all the other people in this space as well. Uh, we are backed by 35 plus web leaders, really grateful for their support and, of course, for their funds. And yeah, we are really, really happy that we have a huge list of pilot collabs, including collabs from Uniswap, Aave, Alpha Humara, and a lot of other very cool projects. They are essentially helping us to build the communication layer of Web 3.0. Time for an alpha drop, because of course HCC means alpha drop. We are launching our push governance in 2 weeks, followed by our mainnet in Q3 2021, and then push nodes and the entire network along with staking will come live in Q4 of 2021. As a note of thanks, of course, thank you to the Gitcoin family. We are Gitcoin kernel alumni, Genesis batch, and they helped us shape this entire game theory. I would heavily recommend anyone who wants to try more about game theory to go to ncase.me/trust and play and see how the game theory changes because of different players and because of the different choices you make. Finally, we are EPNS.io. Thank you so much for being with us in this entire presentation. You can follow us at EPNS Project, either on Twitter or on Telegram. If you want back funds, do join Telegram. Otherwise, Twitter might be just fine. I'm also open to any questions which you guys might have right now. Yes. Yes, so we basically support on-chain and off-chain notifications, we essentially take the Web2 routes wherein the services decide what notifications they want to give out. And therefore, yes, the answer is we do support wallet funds going in and out. In fact, that is already live. It's called a wallet tracker channel at app.epns.io. So you can check it out. Of course, there are other very cool use cases that we are working on. For example, we recently announced our partnership with Snapshot. And what we are going to do is that the notifications which will come from Snapshot very, very soon, they will even have yes and no or multiple options because, our notifications are JSON payload that can dynamically adapt. So you can just tap yes or no from any front end, and that vote would be registered. You don't even have to go to the portal to check the governance thing out. So yeah, that's one of the advanced use case. And of course, we support notifications about sending crypto in and out. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to us, and do enjoy HCC. I wish I could be there, but yeah, have fun. And maybe next time I'll see you in person. Yeah. Take care, guys. Bye for now.